Today. What's your name?
Andrea.
Hey, Andrea. I just want to let you know before we start this therapy session that whatever you say will be confidential.
Okay.
The only time we will break confidentiality is if we see that it's harmful to yourself or others. And if it's harmful to yourself or others, we will talk to you first about the situation to figure out what's the best thing to do.
Okay.
I just want to know what brings you in today.
I wanted to talk about my relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of the ups and downs. It's kind of an on again, off again relationship that I'm battling with.
Okay, inform me a little bit more about what's going on.
So I've been with my boyfriend off and on for like 8 years, and he stressed me out because it's a commitment issue. I think.
In what ways does he stress you out?
I think that because I don't have a lot, I focus on a lot of other stuff. I don't really make a lot of time for my relationship, and I feel like now I'm making time, and it's not really making it any better. I think he has commitment issues. So,
About the commitment issues, like on his behalf, like what's going on with?
well, he has a huge family issue. Like he takes a lot of good care of his mama, stuff like that. So he kind of refuses to break away from her and really like commit to moving forward with what we have going on. So I think like he tried to use my issues and throw them in the way and not address the issues that he has. Like would just commit and saying like we're gonna be together, hit and get away from his mother and like be a man. I call it being a man, but he don't like when I call it that because he says like, you know, I got issues that I need to take care of. When really, I think it's just his issues. Like, if we can get over his, then I can get over mine. Because a lot of mine had to do with, like, planning the future and stuff like that.
Okay, so, imagine, like, if you wake up one morning and everything is together and he, separated you from his mom's situation, what do you think that would be like?
It would be wonderful. Well, so one of the things is, like, his mother doesn't have a relationship. So, like, she kind of looks at him like her man. That's the way I see it. Because, like, he helps pay her bills. He makes sure she get back and forth to work. Like, he her man.
Totally dependent on
Yeah. So, like, in a perfect world, like, she would be on her own and actually allow him to do his own thing. Because right now, I feel like she makes him feel bad for, like, leaving.
Okay, so in what way would that better you, like, if that was intact?
Well, I think if he was able to do that, then I would be secure in us being together. Like, he could do those things here with me. Because, like, he doesn't do any of those things for me. He don't help me with the bills. He can't even live here because he has to spend a couple nights at his mom's house to make sure that she gets what she needs, make sure she get back and forth to work and stuff like that. So it would make it easier for me because I would feel like I'm actually in a relationship, joining completely with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you think that him actually, like, becoming a man will work better for your situation as far as, like, the needing of someone else? Like, you wouldn't need anyone else in that case?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the issues that I have with, like, trust, a lot of that I'm fighting with. And I know it's, I think of it like perfect world, even if we were together. Like, I know we're not going to be together 24/7, but it's a lot different, like, to say that you're not living with somebody, but they always here, always have the clothes at your house, and kind of coming and go as they please. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like that's a little bit untrusting. It opens up the door for, like, having trust issues. Mm-hmm. So, like, I feel like with him being able to at least commit to something, like at least commit to living with me, where you don't have to go spend the night at your mama's house a couple of days a week. You know what I mean? Then I feel like that would help me to have my trust issues be like, okay. And then a lot of it, too, is, like, I feel like I don't have no input. Like, I can't be like, hey, can you help me with this? It's always, well, I got to check to see if my mama needs help first. Mm-hmm. Like, are you with me or are you with your mom?
So you feel like he puts, I see that you feel like he puts his mom before you, basically, in your relationship.
Well, it's like I'm in a relationship with me, him, and her.
It's a three-way relationship.
Yes. Especially, like, with we're adults, so we got bills. He has kids, I have kids. So on the weekends, like when he have his kids, it's like, oh, we're all going to go do a family activity. You know what I mean? And we might spend a couple $100, on doing that family activity. And then the next week, it's like he got to go to his mom's house. What if I need help with the food, or what if I need help with something? Now I spent a couple $100 with you, and you just left. You know what I mean? Not really being here, and that's causing a lot of issues. Because then it's like I don't want to be petty and not do nothing with him and his kids. But I'm like, you here part time, so.
So okay, let's go back to the question of imagining. Okay, in the perfect world, like of your relationship, what do you think will happen?
I think that now I'm not 100% sure it'll work. That's the issue. I feel like we don't have time to see if it'll work because we living under this situation.
Well, that's why I say, like, in your perfect world, like
perfect world,
imagining what is perfect.
Perfect. What I would want is him to be, living here separate from his mother, and us to see about moving forward to the next step. Because to me, the next step is marriage. That's the next step for me.
So you think that breaking away from his mom will help you? Yeah. Basically help you with everything. Like that's the key to everything is breaking away from his mom.
Yeah.
So is there like any other, like what do you think that will help him?
I think it will help him be more mature. Because like right now it's an immaturity thing. Like it's easy to not work on something when you know you can go back to your mom's all the time. Like, I think if there's a lot of people like me, I can't just be like, oh, well, all right, I just go home to mama. Like, that's just it's like you're not going to work through nothing if you always have that option to go home. So I feel like it will make him more mature. He'll be able to be more independent. Because right now, even when we're not together, it's still him and his mama. Every decision he makes, he runs through his mama. Everything he do, he go through his mama. I ain't never heard him have an independent thought. Never. and it's just one of them things where it's like, I'm not saying don't, like, I know that's your mom, you only get one mom, but why does she have to be a part of everything? Like, everything.
So you think it's better that he just try to be his own man, basically?
Yeah, absolutely.
You will prefer, like, the relationship will work better, your stress levels will be down if he just learned to be his own man instead of trying to depend on his mom for everything.
Right.
And have you been able to talk to him about that?
A little sometimes. So most of the time when we get to talking about it too heavy, it gets into an argument because it turns back into that's my mama. I only got one mama, and that's why I always say, like, I try to keep it down. I try not to really talk about it, but then that's when he say my issues pop up, because if I get agitated about something that I don't talk about, it comes up in other ways. So if I'm upset about his mama, then like he'll do something different or stupid, and I'll make it a bigger thing than what it is because I'm already still angry about what's going on with his mama. So it causes us to argue over, he say petty stuff. Like, I can ask him to do something and he don't do it the way I see him doing it, so then I get an attitude. And then,
is there a time that you don't feel like he depends on his mom? Is there a time that you guys have that you don't feel like that he's so dependent on his mom?
I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, when he broke. Because, like, that's the only time, like, really when because he can't go to his mom and be like, can I get some money for gas? Or can I, you know what I mean? Can you help me out with this with the kids? Like, I feel like when that happens, that's when he come to me. And that's why I can always tell him, and he gets mad when I bring that up because he's like, you throwing it in my face. You shouldn't do stuff for me and throw it in my face. But it's not me throwing it in your face. It's me telling you, like, I want us to be a team. I want you to come to me if you got something, just like I want to be able to come to you if I need something. But at the same time, don't spend your money with your mama. You paying your bills over there. Then when you get broke, you coming to me, and I don't mind helping. But don't then you not. It's like you breaking bread 3 ways, and I'm breaking bread more than 3 ways. I'm taking care of you, your mama, my kids, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's just not fair.
Extra stress on to your situation.
Right.
Not him not being able to do his part.
Right.
Like he wants the relationship, but he don't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
To it.
And he don't even talk to me about it either. I always hear about it after the fact. Like his mama was behind $2,000 in her rent. And he paid it. And he didn't even live there. I don't understand that. And it's one of those things where it's like right now, I'm trying to buy a house. I've been trying to buy a house. I had a rent to buy that didn't go well. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get, to a point where I'm buying a house. I pay $1,000 worth of rent by myself. And I've been telling him since the beginning, like, I don't want to just keep paying money out. You know what I mean? It's not going towards nothing. So my biggest thing is, like, my lease is up at the end of this year. I'm like, I'm doing all the steps to buy a house. Why would you take $2,000 and give it to your mom? Not loan it, gave it to her. And it's just like one of them things, like, he didn't tell me till after the fact. And then he just, like, he gets mad at me because I have an opinion about it. I'm like, you didn't even live with your mom. You live with me for most of those times that she fell behind on the rent. And you don't even pay not $1 towards my rent. He doesn't pay any bills in my house. Not a one. Only thing he's willing to do is, like, buy food and stuff like that.
I was about to say, have you tried to enforce that, okay, like, this is a bill that you try to pay or anything like that? Like, have you tried to do an enforcement?
That's where my issues come in. Because it's not like on the one side, I know I'm like, okay, well, I need you to help me with this and this and this. But then on the other side, I'm very independent. So, like he say, my issues is I don't say nothing to him. Like, if I had a bill due, I would call and make a payment arrangement before I ask somebody for some money. Or I'll, hustle up on some money or rob Peter to pay Paul before I, like, ask him for something. So he'd be like, well, I don't ask for nothing. So I'm trying to start asking for stuff. Like, I still haven't got up the gumption to be like, here, you need to pay this bill. Like, right now, I'm just, like, telling him about the bills, hoping that he'll be like, do you want me to pay it? Because if he say that, then I'll be like, okay. And I told him that. I'm not going to ask you. That's just how I am. I've been independent too long.
Okay, from my understanding so far, what we got is that you're frustrated because he depends too much on his mom, and his mom is too much in the relationship. But you want him to be more family oriented, relationship oriented, and have more responsibilities. But in the case, he doesn't help you with the bills, but you also don't want him to. You don't want to be asked. You don't want to ask for him to help you with the bills. You want more so that it comes naturally for him to think that he's supposed to help with the bills. And also the fact that he took $2,000 to pay his mom's rent instead of giving you the money that.
And I probably wouldn't even have been stuck on the amount or anything like that, but I feel like it's one of the things, like, why should I have to ask you? Like I tell him all the time. Like, one of the things we got into it about was the cable bill. The cable bill is actually in his name. So anytime we get behind, they call his phone. He'll just text me or call me and be like, the cable company just called. And part of me be wanting to say, okay, pay it, because you watch cable too, like you watch internet too. And I pay it, and then when I bring it up to him, he like, yeah, you right. But then the next time it come, he just did it. Like, we just talked about it not even 30 days ago. And then I was like, well, when they call you, you could pay my cable bill sometime. You could tell me you took care of it. He was like, yeah, you right. And then, like, literally a couple days ago, he was like, just so you know, they called. I extended it for you. Not paid it. I extended it to give me extra time to get the money together to pay it.
So besides being broke, is there any other time that you feel like that he is more of a man? That, like, is there any other time that you think that he becomes more of a man when you guys are together?
He helped me with the kids. So, like, for example, like, I've had work trips over the last couple months, and he steps up in that regard. Like, he'll take off work and he'll make sure the kids get to their activities and stuff like that. So, like, that's one of the biggest support systems that I can say he do. Like, I ain't really got to ask. He'll offer that. Like, he'll be like, do you want me to pick such and such up? Do you want me to take such and such somewhere? Do you want me to take care of this? Why? You know what I mean? That's probably the biggest thing, where it's always like, sometimes I'll be like, it ain't always about money, and I recognize that he do those little things, and that helped me out. And that's really, like, I mean, he just gotta, I just think it's the immaturity there that bothers me. It's so frustrating.
Okay, so let's do on a scale from 1 to 10. How much do you see him, the possibilities of him swaying away from his mom in the future?
I mean, I could say a 10, but, like, that's like a 10 in 20 years. You know what I mean? If I had to put it on a scale, like, I definitely think he will, but, like, I don't think it'll be no time soon. That's the problem. That's kind of the problem that I have, because I'm like, do I really want to wait 20 years for him to be a man and like feel like he can step away from his mama?
And it's because of all the things that you already have going on. And
Right.
you already got your goals set on what you want to do. You want to purchase a house. You want to, you already got your career set. And you're just waiting for him to basically get on the level that you're on, basically.
Yeah. I struggle with it because part of me wants to, like, he gets mad at me when I say it, but I tell him, like, if it's going to be over, just let it be over. You know what I mean? So I can find somebody else. So I got time to find somebody else, because I feel like, you know what I mean, my kids are getting older. I want to make moves. Like, I'm not stupid. I'm not getting no younger. So I don't really want to be that person that have to go through it, like in my 40s and my 50s, having to date somebody and meet somebody new and go through meet my kids and all that. I'm not settling, but it's like, okay, bro, like, if we gonna do this, like, okay, yes, I want to be with you. Can we make this happen in 5 years? You know what I mean?
Instead of
versus 20. You know what I mean? Because I really just think, like, I don't understand it. I don't know. I'm different. My family's different than his family. He always say that. Your family's different. Like, my mom, that's my mom. Only got one mama. Got to take care of my mama. But
so do you think it has a lot to do with, like, the way he was raised? Or
yes,
the family orientation that he's seen growing up?
He's always taken care of his mother. I did know that. You know, I hate to say it, but he been working since he didn't graduate high school, because he was working and taking care of his mama. You know what I mean? She's not. I don't judge nobody else's parenting. She just raised him and his brothers differently than my parents raised me and mine. You know, I could never see as a mother my kid stopping their life to take care of me. I don't understand that. But, like, I hear the way she talks to him. Like, he'll put her on speakerphone, and she really do. She'll, like, guilt trip him. You know what I mean? Make him feel bad. Yeah, all the time. She, of course. I mean, I couldn't imagine my mama sitting up there telling me, "Oh, so you gonna just let me sit over here and starve?" First of all, why would you say that to your kid? But second of all, like, you 50. Like, why does he have to make sure you eat? I'm not saying that he can't feed you, but, like, there's just a level of disrespect there, and it's just a level of immaturity that she has that kind of makes the whole situation worse on him. Because he got to decide if he going to tell his mama no. And it's like, honestly, on the rent situation, I feel like he should have told her no. You know, because she let her bills get behind. What accountability does she have to pay her bills when she know that she can not pay her bills and then he come in? And this is not even a matter of poverty, because I know what bothers me about it is, this is not a woman that don't have the money to pay her bills. She just get her hair done and her lashes done and all this other stuff. She like to go out and get dressed and drink and not pay her bills. This ain't like she's an elderly mom at home that ain't got nobody. You know what I mean? She got money. She just choosing not to pay her bills.
Okay, now, with that being said, so imagine that he comes into a place where he gets the strength to just, tell his mama no. And how do you think that that'll put a bridge in between your relationship and his relationship with his mom? Do you think that will affect you guys' relationship?
Yeah.
A lot?
I think it will eventually, especially because I've seen it happen before where he didn't talk to her for a short period of time. And, like, I know I don't want nobody not talking to their mama. That's why me and her don't get along, because of that last time. They didn't talk for a little bit, and then they started talking again and everything was okay, but she has a grudge now against me. And I just feel like it's one of them things where it's like, I feel like with him, if he puts his foot down, then she'll change. But it's how long you gonna put your foot down? You know what I mean? I'm not saying no, never help her, but how much are you gonna help her? You know what I mean? I'm not saying don't go see your mama, but spending the night 3 days a week, that's a whole nother household. And I feel like she does that, though, so she can keep him on the leash to be able to say, you got to pay this bill.
And then I was just about to say that. So do you think that him dedicating his time to this household, him putting the same energy into your household that he puts into his mom's household, will help you out a great bit?
Oh, yeah, it will help out a lot. Like I told him, just take one bill. Just pay one bill. It could be the lowest bill in the house. That would help. Buy food, because like I tell him, when his kids come over, we have 9 kids. together.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of food. You know what I mean? So buy food, buy groceries. I think any little effort that he can make towards helping, like here, would be like beneficial to the house.
So, what do you think will make him put more energy into the relationship and into your household, and stop like the attention towards his mom? Like, what do you think that you can do to make things different in the relationship?
I definitely think I have to get better at setting the tone, setting boundaries, like saying to him like this is what I need to happen in order for me to still like be like in this or be together. Like I think me saying like, I need you to do this. Like I've been talking to him about whether or not he lives here or not because I'm tired of him coming and going.
Mm-hmm.
Like like I said to him, like either you live here or you don't, and if you're not gonna live here, like I'm not gonna let you stay.
So you need him to make a definite in order for him to, so you can know like where we going with this, or is it permanent or not?
Right. Well, because he tells me he's committed to it. So if he's saying that, then I'm gonna start trying to put my foot down and make him show me that he's committed. So just putting that boundary on it, like okay, so if you're gonna live here, like this is how this is gonna look. You're not going to be able to leave, 3 times a week, and then if you do, you're not gonna be able to stay here 3 times a week. Because I think that's the biggest thing. Like I can't make them stay here, but I could be like, okay, well you can't stay tonight. Like
yeah,
so we can see each other.
So
but
as
you
far
have to go home.
boundary setting,
Mm-hmm.
as far as in boundary setting, so do you think that would help the energy of the relationship, like helping him get a more understanding, because you said that he's a mother's boy basically,
Mm-hmm.
and that everything that his mom say he's gonna do regardless of the situation. So do you think that in the boundary setting that will lead him? Do you think that he need more rules? You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
more rules towards.
I mean, I would hope that would help, but I can't say for sure because I've never done that. And most of the time, even the few times that I have been like, you can't come over, it causes an argument. Because then he puts it like he think I'm messing with somebody else or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why you don't want me to come over? Or why I can't stay? You must be messing with somebody else or something like that.
So the trust issues going 2 different ways.
Exactly.
Like you have the trust issues of him being away, and he has the trust issues that he can't come.
Yeah, so I can't set no boundaries like that. Because if I set boundaries like that, like it'll be like one time I was like, nope, you can't come over because you just keep running back and forth. And we had a whole, like we was on the phone for a long time that night. He was like, why don't you just let me come over? Like he kept saying, he's like, you act like we in high school or something, I can't come over. So I'm like, no, because I'm telling you can't come over. And then he was like, it got to be a reason. Like you must got somebody else coming over or something.
And you're just trying to get him to see.
I'm setting a boundary.
Yeah, you're trying to set the boundaries. You're trying to get him to see that you need to feed into this relationship.
Yeah.
And that's what I just asked, like as far as like the energies. The energies, you putting more energy into your mama and instead of to what we supposed to have going on. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get him to see that.
And I tell him, and he says it all the time. I'll stop. He says, I'm going to quit doing that. He says, like one time, I didn't even have to prompt him. He was like, because I think she had got mad at him about something and she had talked down to him and it bothered him or whatever. He said, I'm going to stop doing this and that and this and that. And I was just, there talking to him. I was like, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. But then the next day, it didn't happen. Like, literally the next day. Yeah, the whole, like, he went to sleep and then he woke up and it was like, it never even happened. Because she had called him and was like, I need to go. She needed to go to work, but she had to go to the store before she went to work. And it's like, he jumped right up. You know what I mean? So that's why that's why I always struggle with it, because I'm like, maybe he do need to lose me to really figure it out. But then I'm like, then I gotta put my foot down on that. Like, am I really gonna step away? And that's one of them things that I haven't been able to commit to.
You're not ready for it.
So,
but you know that you're completely connected to the situation, so you want to see him change more than you let go of what's going on.
Yeah.
So
I let it continue.
I know earlier I said, what did you think that he needed to do? Are there days that you feel like that he's more manly, and then you was like money situations or things like that. So what is that was from his perspective of him. So what do you think? Like, are there days that you feel like that he could be, that you feel less of what you feel now, like less of the stress, less of the other besides the kids and him being broke? Like, are there other days that you see that like you like, okay, this is going in a good direction,
Yeah, honestly, like when it don't have nothing to do with money, really. That's when everything's cool. Like when it's just us and we chilling and we don't have nothing to worry about. Like I don't have no worries, I don't have no stress. It's just like that's why I really am kind of connected to him, because it's like when everything is said and done, when ain't nobody in the mix, everything's cool with me and him. Like if we didn't have the issues of his mama and it really any outside stressors, like we could just lock ourselves in the house and be cool if it's just us. But it's when, like I tell him the same thing, maturity. If it come to handling any kind of situation and he just fold. Especially like I say his mama, but
I know you keep on mentioning trust issues. Trust issues. That's what I hear a lot. So with these trust issues, do you know, like, is it anything that he did? Like,
I think we both did it. Like the first 4 years, I think being really very lenient, to say at least 4 years. First 4 years, neither one of us was faithful to each other when we was dealing with each other. He was going back and forth between me and his baby mama, and I was kicking it. That's the best way I could put it. Like I wasn't with nobody. We would hang out. We wouldn't even call each other boyfriend, girlfriend. That's how bad it was.
Single people do single things.
Yep, just being single. So I'd be like, I didn't, like I used to, my way of doing it was be like, when you leave, I ain't asking you what you doing. So don't ask me what I'm doing. And then when we come back together, we together.
So what's so different between them 4 years, the first 4 years, and now?
I'm older. I ain't got time for that. I think things have changed with...
I'm talking about with the two of you, not like the outside. Like, I know you said trust issues, but I'm saying what's different between the two of you that make you,
I can't... I think both of us was dealing with each other like that because, like, he said it was my fault. That's why he was going back and forth between me and his baby mama. Because he'd be like, well, you didn't want to be with me. I just wanted to be with her. And then my whole thing was... he wasn't committing at that time, so I reacted different. So I think now, like, I've gotten more patient with him, but I think I don't know. I can't say it. I think he just done with her. Like, I think he was done with her before he even met me. And I do think he has to be with somebody. He's always said that. He has to be with somebody. He has never been by himself.
So was it like you put him out, he come to her type of situation?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get into it. And I just cut him off. It wouldn't even, back then, it wouldn't even be no real reason.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's where your trust issues came in at. Like, do you think that he's with her, or do you think it's just
now?
Yeah.
I don't think he's with her now. Now, I think it's just a matter. I don't have any one thing I mistrust. I just mistrust the situation in general because that first 4 years, he knew what I was doing. Like, I was honest. I was brutally honest for a reason because I don't like to lie in a situation. Like, I tell him, don't ask me questions that you don't want answers to. So he would ask me, like, are you talking to somebody else? And I would tell him, yeah. And then I'd be like, what you talking to, you went back with Robin. He'd be like, I ain't with her. No, I'm not. But he would be lying. He made a whole kid the first 4 years we was together with her. His youngest kid was made at that time. So... I always be like,
it was just that I heard the trust issue thing a lot.
Yeah, he lied.
He
lied so much. I used to tell him, we always talk about it. I used to be like, why don't you just tell me the truth, bro? You ain't gotta lie. We even be times we was not together. We was just friends. And he'd be like, I want to come over there and kick it with you. And I'd be like, you and your baby mom got into it. I ain't with her. I ain't talking to her. And then next thing you know, I'm like, he would lie. He would lie about it the whole time. He wasn't talking to nobody the first 4 years. He wasn't going back and forth with her. Even when she got pregnant, he was like, it ain't my kid. I didn't say he wasn't talking to her, but he was really talking to her. So ultimately, like, I think that the reason why I have the trust issue is just based off the fact that he would blatantly lie to me when I told him, just tell me the truth. Like, I would even be like, I'm not gonna stop talking to you. I'm not gonna, like, I used to tell him that all the time. You ain't gotta lie. And he would still, like, lie to my face. So, I think that's why a lot of the trust stuff has always been an issue, because he would lie.
Okay, so if you guys didn't have the trust issue, how do you think, are there better days, like, as far as like when he stay over his mom's house and stuff like that you think that he's not doing anything?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that now I don't think it as often. I used to react more than I do now, though, too. Because I think when it came down to it, like, he would be like, well, the reason why we ain't together, the reason why this ain't working is because your issues with trust and da-da-da-da-da and this and this and that. So I would go on to be like, okay, well, my mindset is if I fix my issues, then you can't put the back on me. So, like, over the course of the last, like, I say the last 2 years, really, I've been working to, like, even if I think that he's doing something, I won't automatically accuse him of something. Or, like, now I've made it a joke. He always says, I talk about it a lot, but I do it in a joking way, not in a confrontational way. So he'll be like the other day, I think if a man breaks his routine, he's talking to another female. That's what I think. Like, if you do the same thing the same way every time, and then you break your routine, it's something different. So one of the things that he always does is he always FaceTimes me before he goes into work, because he gets to work about 20 minutes early. So he always FaceTimes me. So, like, 2 days in a row this past week, he didn't FaceTime me. So, like, the first day, he didn't. I just shot him a text like, hey, I hope you made it to work all right. And he was like, I was asleep. And I was like, oh, so you didn't make it to work on time? He's like, no, I made it to work. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just left it at that. Well, I'm thinking to myself, you was sleeping till what time? Like, in my head, I'm like, okay, you sleep till what time? What time did you wake up? What time did you get to work? Like, I'm thinking, like, all these things. So then the following day, the same thing happened. I'm like, okay, it's about 20 minutes till he had to be at work. So I just texted him. I didn't wait till it's time for him to be at work. I just shot him a text like, hey, just want to make sure you made it okay. He's like, now this is a man that talks to me all the time. Like, when he's at my house, if he has to use the bathroom, he'll call me in the bathroom, want me to stand in the doorway and talk to him. Like, he calls me all the time. So you know the routine. Yes. So I text him. I was like, hey, just want to make sure you make it to work all right. He gonna say, I had to boo-boo. And I was like, okay. He's like, so I couldn't call you. I can't call you right now because I got to boo. I was like, oh. I was like, makes sense. And then I kept the conversation going, and it was taking him a minute to text back. So I'm like, first you said you had to boo, we was in the bathroom, and then you ain't texting me back when you supposed to text me back. Like, if you sitting on the toilet, you got your phone in your hand. So then I was like, okay. So then he called me right when he was supposed to be at work, but he had already, like, clocked in and everything, and he was walking outside. And I was like, so you was at work? And he's like, yeah, I was already at work. And I was like, oh, well, how come you didn't FaceTime? Like, a barrage of questions came. I gave him all these questions. It's a good thing that you, like, know him so well. That's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing, because I think, like, because what I ended up saying was, I was like, I didn't say it. I say it, and I don't mean to cuss, but this is how I say it. I'll be like, next time tell the bitch you gotta go. Like, like, tell her you gotta call me. In a joking way. Yeah. But then it becomes a thing where he's like, it's always gotta be another girl. It's always gotta be another. And I'm just like, that's why I try to make my trust come in and be, like, more joking. But I really meant it. Yeah. Like, I'm thinking to my head, I'm like, you just don't want him to trigger. Right. I don't want it to become an argument. Yeah, because I don't like arguing with him. Neither one of us are good at arguing. Like, he avoids. He's an avoider. So, like, at the first sign of arguing, he's ready to, like, just, like, one day we was downstairs arguing, and I, like, kept getting mad, and he just stopped talking. And then he just, like, walked upstairs and started watching TV. And I took that as disrespect. I'm like, I'm sitting up here arguing with you, and you just walk upstairs and start watching TV. Like, I'm too loud or something. So it made the argument bigger. He don't like arguing. Whereas me, I'm like, I don't like arguing, but even my arguments ending, like, we're just going to not talk. Let's just break up. Let's just go. You go to your mama's house, never talk to me again. Like, take your stuff, type stuff. So to him, it's always so like. So you got two different. Yeah. Anger positions. Like, I'm 0 to 100, and he's a voider. He's mad. He's in your boys, and I'm 0 to 100. And so every time we argue, like if you imagine a regular couple argues like maybe once a week. If you look at it like little arguments though, a little argument with me could turn into a big argument. That's kind of like I said earlier with his mother. Like I could be frustrated about something with his mother, and then he could do something, and all of a sudden I'm 0 to 100, and it's like we was just arguing because I didn't carry the groceries in, and now you telling me to get out. Like because it's just I have a lot of stuff that I'll be mad about, and then I'll just be like, okay, just leave.
So can you give me like on a scale from 1 to 10? What is the most thing that bothers you about the relationship with him, whether it's his mom, whether his intentions of trying to talk to you is just, the best when he's broke, or the fact that you have trust issues and he doesn't stay around the house? Like, what bothers you the most? Like, on a scale, like what bothers you? Not a scale of 1 to 10, but what is the thing that gives you the most stress?
I think really the most stress is the situation with his mother, because I think that's the one thing that he can't that I can't see him changing. That really makes our relationship like
rocky.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, we could be perfectly everything else we could work through, but like he is true. He only has one mother, and she's always going to be his mother. But until he sets that boundary, and like I said, I don't think he'll never do it. I just think it'll be in 20 years. But, that's one of the things that I'm like, it's going to always be an issue. And I have to decide whether or not I'm going to be with him and deal with it or not. And that's what, like I said, I don't want to not be with him at this point. I want to be with him, but it's like frustrating.
It's just that you know for sure certain that this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. You just wait for him to get his life together so you can reach that point where you say, okay, now it's time to tie the knot.
Yeah, and he's talking about it too, and that's why I keep telling him, like,
you don't think he's ready.
Yeah, but he wants to walk the walk. So like, because we were engaged before, and then I called it off because of some silly stuff. Well, we got into it, and like now he like when the first rings came along, I think I was more like yeah, but like now, like there's all this, like his auntie let it slip, and she told me that he had already got a ring and like all this other kind of stuff. So I keep saying stuff to him, like every time he brings it up, I'm like, well, I don't want to get engaged, because I feel like if you get engaged where everybody knows you get engaged, then they're gonna be waiting on you to get married.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want that kind of pressure. Like, I don't want everybody to be like, oh, yes, you know what I mean? Like, when y'all gonna get married? Because to me, like, I'm very traditional, so I feel like an engagement should last a year, and then you should get married.
I think that it's a great thing that you know, like, everything that you want in the order you want it in. Yeah. That's a really great thing. And to have things figured out and how you want your life to go.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's hard, because on the one side, it's like, oh, okay, I want to get married, but I'm not getting a divorce.
Till death do you part?
Till death. I'm not getting a divorce, and that's why I've never made it down the aisle. Like I could say, as many times I've had like serious relationships where I've been like, okay, I'm gonna get married. Like I'm not gonna say I do anything to make it not happen, but I'm always like, maybe we shouldn't get married. Like I don't mind having that conversation.
Well, the good thing with you is it seems like you have patience. So,
patiently and patient.
Patience. Yeah. So that's a good thing with you. It's because it seems like that you're the type of person that that can work things out.
I try to. Yeah. And that's why I keep telling him, like, because I think now, like, initially I think it was supposed to be Christmas that he was gonna like propose, and I was like, well, can't let that happen. So I said something about it, like, because he made a joke and we were in the kitchen and he was like, some kind of joke he made, because last time we got engaged it wasn't traditional. It wasn't like, oh, let me get on one. So yeah, it was December, and we were in there cooking, and he was making a joke like, the last time we got engaged, it wasn't like a down on one knee kind of thing. It was more like we went on a trip, and then we started looking at jewelry, and then he was like, we should get rings, and I was like, yeah, we should get rings. And then once we bought it, he was like, oh, you gonna marry me? I was like, quit playing. He's like, no, I'm serious. So that's kind of how that happened. So when we were in the kitchen that day, he was like, well, I never did propose. And then he like if I do, I'm gonna do it like this. And he kept getting down on the floor, and then he was like, "Oh, my knee hurts," and he was like, "I'm gonna have to do my left knee." It was a big old joke, but I was like, saying it like he was practicing. So I was kind of like, "You ain't gonna propose, or you?" He was like, "Yeah," and I was like, he said, "Yeah, eventually," and I was like, "Well, don't do it no time soon." And then I pretty much started talking about the issues like we was having, like talking about the house and stuff like that. So I think I talked myself out of that one, but like ever since then, he talked about it. Like on Valentine's Day, when Valentine's Day was coming up, he kept talking about it. Like, what if you get a piece of jewelry or something like that? And I was like, yeah, I don't wear jewelry like that. So I kept trying to like divert away from it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's like I say all that because I'm like I don't really want to get engaged because I feel like that's gonna be a big thing again, like it was last time. And the minute everybody else finds out, then it's like okay, now we gonna actually have to get married. And I don't.
Is that how you felt the last time? Like when everybody found out, you felt like this is something that you have to do because you already didn't.
Yeah.
Outed it.
Yeah, but honestly, at the same time, it's like I pictured when I get engaged, this is what it looked like. Mm-hmm. Like I already know, like this is what I plan to do. And I don't want to break away from that because I do feel like you get married one time. So it's supposed to be a good experience from front to back, honestly. In my opinion, like you're supposed to have a good engagement. You're supposed to have a year to plan your wedding. You're supposed to have all the great stuff because that's like part of the like you're only supposed to get married once. So like do it. I'm a traditional person when it comes to marriage. So like to me, like I really want it to be done a certain way. And if it's not, then it's just not. Yeah, I'd rather not do it.
Right.
I'd rather wait until it can't be that way. So that's why it's like, with my birthday coming up, he keeps talking about it. And it's like, how are we going to get engaged if we still can't even work through the situation with your mama?
So you said that y'all talk about the situation a lot as far as like what happened the last time. So do you think that if it's that easy for y'all to talk about that situation, do you think it's easy to talk about the situations that's going on now? Because I feel like I understand where you're coming from and all that, but I feel like that he's going to have to eventually know how you feel, because if you decide to get married, he probably still be in the same place, and you can't have him in the same place. You have to discuss.
Right. And that's why I'm trying to push it before we get married. Because that's why I'm like I told him, if we can get the situation figured out before we even get engaged, then we don't have to work on it when we get married. Because I'm not about to get engaged to you if you're not even, like, he'll say, oh, I'm here, but you're not here. You don't live here. He's like, this whole back and forth thing about whether or not he should live here or not. I'm, like, almost 40. Like, we've lived together before. I don't see why it has to be a thing where we have to live separately. Because that's one of the things that he's talking about now. Like, why don't we just be together and live separately? But he don't mean it. Because being together and living separately don't mean being at my house 4 days a week. And then being at your mama's house 3 days a week.
Yeah.
So that's one of the issues that we have. And that's why I said earlier, I feel like I'm going to have to put my foot down and be like, you can't come here.
So, we're living separately. How you think that will work?
It ain't going to work. I told him if I live separate from you, I'm not with you. Like I'm not a
separate household, separate life.
Separate life. If you trying to build trust with me, and he keeps saying it, so I gotta live with you to get your trust. No, you don't have to live with me to get my trust. But what you can't do, I think he tried to use it as a way to come in and out. Like you're not saying you want to live separately. You're saying you want to come and go as you please. That's really what you mean. Because like I told him, if we don't live together, how do you justify staying at my house 4 days a week? How do you justify having all your work clothes here but not your regular clothes here? Because he go to work Monday through Friday, and then be the days that, well, most of the time it's during the weekend. He works nights too. So now since he started working nights, that's his little thing to say like, oh, well, I'm there at night when I get off work. He comes in at 1:30 in the morning, making a whole lot of noise and waking me up, and then wants me to sit up with him or all this other stuff. And then he'll go to his mom's house and sleep all day until it's time for him to go to work. So he say, oh, I'm going home. I'm going home. Where's home? We even laugh. I even laugh now when I say, where's home? He be like, I'm about to go home. Which house? Right. Like, which house is home? So
it's complicated.
It's very complicated. And we can talk. I think we talk about it all the time. The problem is action. We talk about it all the time. all the time.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, we could talk about it till we blue in the face, and it just don't change. But it don't change not just because of him. It don't change because I don't like. I'll say something. I'll be like, all right.
So do you feel like that you can enforce it? Do you feel like that you putting on, because you say that you're softy and all that stuff, so do you feel like you putting on your tough skin will change like the situation that you have?
To me, my tough skin is breaking up. That's about as tough as it gets. I don't know how to be no other kind of way. Like I told him, if I put my foot down, it's gonna lead to us not being together. Because
okay, let's imagine your tough skin being that.
Yeah.
Imagine your tough skin. You telling him the way that you want the relationship to go. You telling him how you would picture his relationship with his mom and that to go. And as far as him putting your relationship and your family first, your family, like I said, your kids, his kids, you and him first, instead of putting his mama first. How do you think that he would take that?
I mean, when we've talked about it, he says yes, but I don't think he's ever gonna do it. Like I always tell him when everything's normal, it's okay. But it's that minute where she call, everything changes, and then all of a sudden it's like, and that's why I said I always get put back on me, because I can either say something or not
say something.
And if I don't, then we back where we started at. You know what I mean? And that's why I said like my tough skin would be like her calling. You know what I mean? Like prime example was yesterday. We were just supposed to do a couple things and come back together. Yesterday, my mama jumped in, his mama jumped in, like all kinds of stuff happened. It didn't happen. Yesterday didn't happen and go as we said we was going to go. So then, like, I don't know what time it was, like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, like we finally got together and was hanging out and stuff. And like I told him, like, he's like, look at you tired. And you know, yawning and stuff, and now I can't even, we can't even get our quality time together. We supposed to get our quality time together. And it's like, but it'd be like that when your mama call. When your mama call, you gotta hurry and get up, Still recording.
So, the last question that I have for you is, okay, you said you gotta get... So do you think that you reserve the time for him as much? I mean, like, you say his time, but do you think that you reserve the time for him so that y'all can equally, like you want him to give your time? Do you think that you give him the time that he deserves to?
I think we could both get better at it. I think I don't think I always do. I think I like to couple his time with my kids because I don't get a lot of time in general because I have work.
So you try to put it all together.
Yeah, so I try to make it like family time together. But I know like I could be better at like focusing on him, like because I know he wants that quality time. Quality time to him is laying in the bed watching a movie though. Like literally, like he'll fall asleep. I'm like then it's argument, but I want to give him his quality time too.
I'm so thankful that you came in and spoke with me today, and I appreciate you sharing all your valuable information with me about your relationship and about how the mother is at the head of the relationship.
Yeah,
like it's a three-way relationship. That's interesting and all that, and I think that you said that in the interview that you guys spending time with the kids is when you feel like that he's doing stuff for the kids. It makes him feel more, or when he has money, it makes him feel more manly. Right. One of my suggestions would be that you guys try like a couples counseling.
Okay.
To see like if you put somebody in the middle of your situation, people can look at the situation. You'll never get an understanding when both of you guys are going at each other.
Right.
But if you got somebody in there to diffuse the situation and separate what's being going on, you see different things in a different way. Right. Also, I feel like that if you think that he's more of a man, like you say, like when he's spending time with the children, you find more different things like that to make you look at it, in a different way. Also, you said that both of you guys needed to work on spending time with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and I think like you need to like probably try to set a day out where it's just you and him, like you, him, and the kids all the time. You know, and also try to talk about your situation, the problems that you have. Try to talk them out with him to see if you know if it won't be an argument, if you guys can just talk about it and how you feel about the situation, and also see how he feel about his situation too, to see if y'all can come to an agreement on, especially like the living situation with the and see so where you can get more help instead of him spending more time with his mom, and it could be like a great reach an agreement, basically. And like I said, couples counseling would be a great solution for you guys. But it was really great getting your information from you and listening to you, and that you felt protected with me with your information. So it's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.